calling KWTX News 10 on call. We are currently experiencing a high volume of calls. Please stay on the line, and Santa will answer your call as soon as he can.
Santa?
Your estimated wait time is 6 minutes.
You got 6 minutes?
What are we going to do?
I'm going to ask Santa something. Don't you want to talk to Santa?
I don't know what we're going to ask him.
I'm asking what his favorite podcast is.
Oh, this is Santa Claus. Who am I talking to?
This is Mike.
Hey, Mike.
How are you, Santa?
Good this year? I'm doing good.
Great. Hey, I know that your time is coming to an end. Being on call tonight.
Right.
And we have a podcast network here in town, and so I wanted to ask Santa about his favorite podcast.
Okay. I don't really do podcasts, so I really don't know.
Santa, we need to get you on a podcast then. You need your own show. I would love to have like Santa on the days off.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay. Can
Let's do that.
let's do it. I'm gonna reach out to Channel 10 and see if I can't get you after this.
Sounds great, man.
All right, Santa. Hey, man.
right.
Thanks for all you do.
You bet. Merry Christmas.
Appreciate it. Merry Christmas. Bye. How about that?
It was so hard for me to hold that.
Oh, please, come on.
Oh, that's good.
That's my life.
That's so funny.
All right, let's do it. That should get you hyped up.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset Santa doesn't listen to podcasts.
Oh, Santa doesn't have time.
Santa's a lion sack of shit then. Either that or he listens to audiobooks. Because there's no way he listens to music the whole time.
No, I can't. Can you imagine listening to Christmas music the entire time you're doing that shit?
No.
That's crazy.
And who's to say that he likes Christmas music?
I bet he doesn't.
You know, it's funny that you're in a very Christmas spirit and involving Santa, because here's what we got.
This is our blooper.
Burr.
Merry Christmas.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about
comic books, costumes,
Facts. Boots.
and other stuff.
In this week's issue, Superman punches Bat Santa. Then there's some Lobo there.
Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I'm Zach, joined as always by the marvelous, by the merry
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Mike.
Ho, ho, hello.
Man Wonder, Merry Man Wonder, Mr. Mike.
Merry Man Wonder. That's good. Sounds like I'm a fish.
It does. I gotta work on that. But still,
Yeah.
still celebrating the season, if you will, the Christmas season. Last week we had a nice Christmas special. This is going to be more of our...
I love those Frosty comics. They were
They're
great.
great.
Yeah.
If the saying goes, this is going to be more of our naughty episode, and you'll see when we get to it,
Right.
of some things that are just a little weird, especially for Christmas. And the beauty of it is I brought the folder in this time with me, so Mike can't we can't
see
get
anything.
ahead of ourselves at all.
No,
for
I
this,
can't.
which usually means good things. I have three things in here.
Yeah. Okay. 3.
Three things to get to. One is very short. The second one is semi-short. And the fourth one's kind of like, our third one, is kind of regular length. So we'll cover the first two.
Sounds like my 3 wives.
Is this? Oh, yeah.
One was
This
short.
is.
The other was a little taller, and the other one's real tall.
Oh, I thought you were talking about how long you've been with them.
Oh, no. That's a whole different thing. That's a whole different conversation.
So,
I'm that guy at this point where I go, oh, yeah, my ex-wife sucks.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I don't know how I got here.
I'm still on number one. So,
Good for you, man. I mean, that's the way it should be, right?
Yeah.
You should grab one and hang
I say
on
that
for dear life.
we're recording early this week because our anniversary is on the
That's
night
right.
we usually record.
Your
and we're
anniversary is
going to dinner.
tomorrow, literally,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Happy anniversary.
Well, thank you.
How many years?
See, this is weird
Okay.
because it's only going to be 4 years.
Okay.
But in the scheme of things, I would say that my wife and I have been together for, let me do math, 18 years.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
What took you so long? I don't think I was supposed to ask that.
No, I don't care. I'll say it was her.
Oh,
That's
really?
fine. Yeah.
Oh. You don't normally hear that.
I don't think, and I don't want to,
Normally it's the
getting her.
ladies
Yeah.
who are ready.
No, I think I was, and
Yeah.
I just think that she just wanted to be sure about it. That's fine.
I get it, sure.
Yeah, I get
She had to
it.
vet you.
Yeah.
She vetted
And
the hell out of
apparently I passed. I don't
you.
know how.
Good job.
Yeah.
Grade A American guy.
Yeah, exactly. You can put that stamp on me and
You're not like Black Angus,
beef.
but you're grade A.
Well, Black Angus is better. Well, isn't Black Angus just like the type then? Because the
I don't-
grade A
what's-
would be the grade.
What's next past grade A?
Grade B, I assume.
No. I mean, isn't there something better than grade A?
Grade S. Remember we've talked about this with
Have
tier
we?
lists and stuff.
Oh, no.
I'm afraid it's going to be grade S probably. I don't know.
All right, I'm looking up grade of meats.
Wow, did not think that this is the way we would go. I'm going to go ahead and just
please,
get
pull
the
out
first
your
one out
folder,
while
dude.
Mike gets ready to. I realized that we learn random things on here.
We're completely wrong.
What is it?
It's prime, choice, and select. So there is no grade A.
But
Prime, choice, and select.
I remember my grandpa telling me stories.
Yeah.
Because when he grew up, he was born in 1932.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a, child, teen, kind of on that verge there during World War II.
Right.
And they had a dairy, his family did.
Oh, wow.
And so like they could make grade B, like milk and cheese, but then they had to do something and they made upgrades. So
I
then
wonder
they
if
can
that's
sell
just
theirs
dairy.
as, I don't know. I thought so. At least back in that time, I remember him talking about being grade B and grade A, and whatever they did, they were able to finally get the move up, and that was big for them because they could charge more for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is not what this podcast is about at all.
No, it's not. It's very interesting,
But it
stuff,
is interesting.
though.
Yeah, I would listen to this for at least 5 minutes.
Yeah. We're not going to make y'all
Bye,
listen to any
everybody.
more of it. We're going to get to our first story, which comes from the DCU Infinite Holiday Special, released, came out back in December 2006. But I realized, Mike,
you need to hold that down a little bit because I'm seeing the back of it. There's something really crazy going on the back.
I forgot that
Yeah.
there's not a white page on the
Yeah,
back.
it's crazy.
So I figured out, though, also, because this says February 07.
Yeah.
It's the newsstand date. Like they would print it, like it would come out in, how I think like, in the comic book, you get like the month before I don't know. It came out in December. I'm forgetting how I'm trying to explain this.
Or is it choice or is it
No, grade A, maybe.
Infinite Holiday? That frightens the hell out of me.
So this book was filled with nothing but different like holiday shorts involving different DCU characters.
Sure,
And they've done multiple ones of these. Marvel does similar stuff.
Okay.
But I wanted to take a story from this that I thought was very entertaining in a way to get things kicked off. And it is called Yes, Tyrone, There is a Santa Claus.
Okay.
And we open at the Daily Planet, and it's Clark Kent and Lois Lane with editor Perry White holding a note. And he's basically telling you, like, hey, Clark, I want you to write this very, great piece on this kid. Olsen, talking about Jimmy Olsen, who works with him.
Sure.
Like, I want you to, keep an ear on the streets, figure out the background on him, see where he does. And he's like, Lois, I want you to get me a sugar with coffee with two sugars.
Yeah, that's great.
And she goes,
Wonderful.
But Perry, I'm your number one reporter. And he replies, you bet you are, dollface, cream, 2 sugars.
Dollface.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Dollface.
we're led to assume we don't know what this note or letter he is holding,
Yeah.
but in some way it's kind of like I would think writing, a letter to Santa Claus in a sense, like what is the actual Yes, Virginia?
Yes, Virginia, there is a
Claus?
Santa Claus. Yeah.
So Clark has an idea because Jimmy goes to him and goes, who I think this sounds like a job for? And Clark looks at us and winks and goes, I think I do.
Bink.
And then we see him at the Fortress of Solitude wrapping gifts in a sleigh. And it says, for Santa. That's who it's a perfect job
So
for.
it's a job for Santa.
Right?
Wait.
See, I'm trying to do it like this.
Oh,
There
there's
we go.
Clark. I see it. Yeah.
So
He's got his Merry Christmas Santa outfit on
with
the
a
big
giant
S.
S. He has the Superman S, but it's red and white, and a Santa hat.
Craziest thing. Did his mom make that one too?
No, I think he did.
Okay.
But see, he wrapped all the gifts himself, and he's flying through the air.
That's not fair. He's got to be able to rap like
And he's
really
like,
quick.
Magic time, and then like he stops, he sees something, and he like what? And he like rubs his, like what in the world am I looking at?
Yeah.
And what we can see here is Batman is hovering using a jetpack,
Sure.
and Batman calls him pathetic.
Well, he kind of looks goofy.
Batman
he's not
says,
even in the sleigh.
He's not.
He's carrying the sleigh.
Batman says, "For goodness sakes, look at yourself. Like, come on, what are you doing here?" Superman's like, "I'm trying to restore this child's sense
You're a god
of
Why
wonder."
are you doing
Exactly.
this?
And
Yeah.
Batman's like, "Yeah, well, my parents taught me something different."
And they're dead.
And he goes, he does. He goes lying in the alley, twitching.
Oh my god.
Sorry, look, like he gets lost in it.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. Wow.
And then Batman basically
I
tells
like
him,
this dark Batman.
yeah,
This is great.
Batman basically tells him, look, my point is that you've got to take yourself seriously as a hero.
Yeah.
Like they call on you when there's great disasters. If you just show up, he goes, if the idea that you take a night off to play dress up, like, while other people.
I think Batman last week was in an alley singing Christmas carols.
That's what he goes, dress up for some kid. He goes, it's ridiculous. It's like something out of a comic book. And they look at the screen again.
Fourth wall.
And Superman's like, yeah, I guess you're right. Like, I feel silly in the outfit. And
Yeah, 'cause
Batman's
it's a
like,
dumbass outfit, Superman.
and Batman's like, hey, it's okay, man. Go be that true hero you are.
Yeah.
And Superman's like, you know what, Batman, you're right. And he's like flying away, and Batman's telling him like, yeah, Superman, go save the world, right? He's like cheering them on as they go out. So then, sorry for all the
Batman
ruffles.
take over for Superman and get all the credit?
Hold on.
Okay. All right. I think that's what happens.
So then
Which is kind of a dick move.
Superman goes back and he goes, I suppose I should do something about the whole Middle East thing.
Oh my God.
Like that's what he's trying to think
Okay.
what he's going to do, right? And then he goes, wait, the presents. I should at least leave him the presents. That makes sense, right? All the presents he
leaving
got
them
for the
Batman?
kid. No, for the kid. He was like, I should at least leave all the presents.
Oh, yeah.
I got.
Well, yeah,
that
sure.
makes
Leave the
sense.
kid the presents because,
And
you serviced one child. Sure.
He
Good job.
opens the door with this armful of presents,
Mm-hmm.
and he's shocked to see kids run up to Batman dressed up as Santa Claus, where it says, Bat Santa, you're the best.
Bat Santa.
And the little girl says, I love you, Bat Santa.
Oh, that's so gross.
It says, ho, 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 Merry Christmas.
And he not only has a bat suit with a Santa suit with the bat thing on it, but he has his utility belt and he has a fake friggin' beard on.
Superman looks shocked, and Batman just winks at him, like, ha ha, got you. And the story ends then with
Gosh.
season's greetings and Superman punching Batman in the face.
And he's right in front of the children who are
Right in
flabbergasted.
front of the children as blood is flying out from Batman's mouth and that knocks the beard off.
Wow.
So there you go. I figured that was kind of a short little to throw in the
How do you?
naughty pile there.
Yeah, that is kind of naughty. Good job.
Then we get to our second story. Do you know who, Mike, I'm going to try to draw on your comic knowledge a
Okay.
bit.
Yeah. I got
Do
a
you
ton
know-
of it.
Do you know who Rob Liefeld is?
I do know the name. I think he's an artist and a comic book writer.
Yes.
Okay.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
He created
Yeah, okay.
that.
Gotcha.
I think he created Cable,
Yeah.
X4. He was big in the 90s.
He does a
He was
lot
part
of
of,
like
the
the
group.
anti-heroes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he was big. He was a part of that group with like Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane. And
Yeah.
they
Okay.
started Image Comics.
Yeah, I remember
and,
that.
yeah.
Oh, he was an Image. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
So,
This is, by the way, this Infinite thing, this is the kind of comic book art that I'm not a big fan of because it's too clean.
yeah.
You know, it's like a cartoon. It's not really a comic book.
Oh, well, if you get ready then, if you
Okay.
like art that's
Great.
too clean, because the two things we have coming up are not.
All right, great.
So what happened, I'll give backstory of this first. Rob Liefeld made a card for Wizard Magazine of art.
Yeah.
For like, it came with like a certain, like a holiday issue.
Okay.
Then a couple of years later, they decided to turn that idea from a card into a one-shot comic.
Okay.
And that comic, Santa the Barbarian.
Oh, that's lovely. Wow. It's very Spawn-esque,
So
like the art and stuff.
yes, it is.
Looks
So
very
this is put
Spawn-y.
out by Maximum Press, which was actually Liefeld. He is the publisher at the
okay.
time here.
All right, that makes sense.
And he has the creator here. There's 2 short stories here for Santa the Barbarian. And I'm just going to paraphrase them because
Yeah,
it's
sure.
a lot of rhyming and stuff throughout.
Oh,
Like they try
really?
to do the whole thing.
It's like a night before
And then they
Christmas
start
kind of
making
thing.
fun of them doing the whole thing.
Oh,
It's a very meta kind of Deadpool-y.
yeah.
I'll get to parts of it.
Is it good?
What do you think?
Okay. No. Okay. All right. I thought maybe it
It's
might
just
be good.
hard to follow, especially the second story.
Okay.
The first one I get.
Okay.
The first one's the better of the 2 stories.
Santa's bald. He needs a hat.
Santa is bald.
And he's huge.
I will say, I guess, should I say the names of the people who worked on here?
Sure.
Let's throw out story 1. The plot and art were by Dan Frega. And if I am mispronouncing names, I apologize.
And Frega.
Story 2, plot and art by Pop Man.
Pop Man.
Yep.
Love that Pop Man.
Script by Robert Lauren Fleming. Colors by Laura Penton. Letters by Steve Dutro.
Steve Dutro.
Editor Matt Hawkins. Creator Rob Liefeld. Color separations by Extreme Colors, Quantum Color FX. And special thanks to Pat Lee. How much you want to bet that maybe, I don't know if those companies are still around.
I bet they're not around. No.
So let's go ahead and
Maximum
get started.
Colors.
We start at the North Pole where we see Santa.
Holy crap. Look at him.
Yeah, he's got, so the red nose, the
Yeah, mhm.
red nose Santa's supposed to have, it kind of looks like clown makeup because
Yeah,
it's
it does.
always on.
Yeah.
And they have a play on like, I see you when you're sleeping. They go through all
But
this
one's-
kind of when he talks.
That's the title, The Big Red Sleigh.
The Big Red Sleigh is the
Okay.
name of this story.
All right.
Essentially, Santa shows up and he's like, I'm here for the rest of the nice list.
Yeah.
And his elves tell him, I gave it to you. That 3x5 card is all it is.
Holy crap.
And he's like, we just finished the naughty list and I got the writer's cramp to prove it. And he goes, I guess that whole leaving coal for the naughty ones is being a real great deterrent.
Yeah.
So Santa's like, all right, I
I'll kill
warned
'em.
them. Essentially, he's like, all right, I warned them. Now I'm going to go, not warned,
Oh my
warn them.
gosh.
Yeah, because it has,
God, he picks up an axe and a sword.
dude, so it says they should have watched out. They should have cried. I warned them not to pout. Like that's the
Yeah,
lines in here.
yeah.
But yeah, so now he goes, now Santa Claus is coming to town or is going to town on their sorry butts.
Oh.
Me and my sacred battle axe,
He
Saint
says-
Nick.
He says butts.
He does. And it's him and his sacred battle axe.
Yeah. Saint Nick.
That's what I find so funny about this one and the next one that we'll get into
Right.
is it's early 90s and they're like trying to be edgy in some of this,
But they say butt.
but they say butt.
Butt.
Like, and it's funny too because it's like extreme gore, but they still say butt.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's weird. So yeah, and all the elves
It just
cheer.
sounds so
It
weird
does.
coming from this dude who's gigantic.
Well, it's Santa.
Yeah. But still, I mean,
So
look at him.
All the elves cheer.
He's bigger than like Conan.
Yeah,
He's
he is.
huge.
All the elves cheer Santa on. Santa goes to get into the reindeer, and I have to read this because
Please do.
so Santa hops in the sleigh and says, "But what's this, Rudolph? Where are your 8 brothers?" Because it's just Rudolph. And by the way, his red nose is he shoots flames from his nose. Do you see that?
Sure.
Yeah, because that's how we do this.
Yeah.
And Rudolph says, because Rudolph can talk, we got a hold of some wicked bad chili, Santa. Hold on. But never fear.
Oh my God.
I think I can get you airborne under my own. And then it says poot. And Santa like looks disgusted. And then Rudolph goes, steam as they take off.
So he's going to send him around the world with fart power
Yep, that's
from
the
the bad
joke here.
chili. Oh, that's good stuff, Rob Liefeld.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he didn't write that. He created it,
Oh, sorry.
but still.
You can't tell me he's not responsible for this.
Well,
Come
I
on.
mean, he's responsible for the character. So it would not exist.
Yeah.
But
So 8 of them
Santa,
have
8 of them
diarrhea
and,
is what we're supposed to
and
believe.
Rudolph just has
because
like,
these magic reindeer ate meat chili, I'm assuming.
yeah, it just says wicked bad chili.
But
Like,
you understand? I mean,
oh, how do you?
they
Yeah,
ate meat.
yeah,
That's gross too, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
again, with this being the naughty
carnivores.
Christmas special, be prepared for us to get.
Yeah, sure.
We haven't yet, but
Yeah.
be prepared.
We may say but.
Oh yeah, but there's going to be some strange things that Santa does,
All right.
and that are said about Santa. So let's just keep that
Sure.
now.
Let's go.
That maybe we don't listen to this one with the kitties.
Do we see Santa's wiener?
No.
Oh, okay. That's good.
No.
Good.
No.
That's great.
But something is implied about Santa.
Well,
that's
I figured like maybe like a candy cane reference or something like that.
No. Well, I'll show you when we get there.
Maybe it twirls back. It's
And
got a little
so
bend to it.
this first story is essentially just Santa hunting
I don't
everybody
like the fact that
down.
his sleigh says "Ho Ho Man" on it.
Does it? It says.
It says "Ho Ho Man."
Oh, it does say Ho Ho Man on it.
That's goofy.
It is. So basically, Santa just shows up and starts killing people.
Wow.
That's all the first
But
story
does
is.
he kill kids?
No, it's all adults here.
Oh,
But
that
it
one
does
guy looks
say-
like Hitler.
Yeah. It does say Happy Christmas to all, and to all a big knife, as he has a giant sword through him.
That's terrible.
Hey, remember when you asked me if this was good?
Yeah. No, that was the other one.
Oh.
Yeah, that one wasn't good either.
That
One honestly
was good.
is so much better than this one
Yeah.
though.
So then we have our second story, because it's two stories in one comic.
Sure.
And it's another thing about how the night before Christmas, because we like to play off all that.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened is Santa shows up to ask where all of his gifts are,
Jeez, I think he's bigger.
and all the elves are on strike. They're like, "You're tyranny. We're not making toys for you."
Yeah, sure.
And Santa's like, "Then what are you gonna do? Like, get to work?" And all the elves start attacking him, right? So Santa fights off all the elves. Like the battle that ensued brought a chill down my spine, because Santa went postal on the elves that benigned. So Santa is beating the mess out of the elves
What is the deal
now.
with the giant robot?
Well, so the elves, figuring that they're no match for Santa, have a giant metal robot that they call Tank that they're going to use to fight.
Okay. Well, I guess
Santa.
that kind of makes sense. I mean, they make all the toys. They could make a
Right.
big robot.
Here's okay. So there's not a lot of dialogue, but you see this, right? Santa and the giant robot, and it says, "Okay, so Tank and Santa had words." And that's all it is on this
Yeah,
page, right?
yeah, they're
Because I want you to
fighting.
follow this
Sure.
end with me.
Sure.
Then we get this panel where it's like it starts the comic over, and it says, "'Twas the night before Christmas. I'm sure that it was. Everybody was stumped, because that ain't no Santa Claus." And it's an elf delivering gifts.
A beat up elf.
A beat up elf delivering gifts on Christmas, right?
Okay.
So then I think, oh, does that mean that the monster defeated Santa? But then it says, which brings us to, "This is the end of the grand Christmas tale. Merry Christmas to all, and don't send me hate letters. Whoops, mail." That's what it says there. But, and it's Santa on the, like, I don't get what happened.
I don't get what happened either. He looks like he's got spiders all over him. What is he just dirty?
Yeah.
And what's the deal with the chick with the big butt?
Oh, that's the card that inspired
I see.
yeah.
That's super gross.
So there
It
you
looks
go.
like the cover of a Molly Hatchet album.
Santa the Barbarian. Speaking of that, Mike, I'm glad you brought them up. I think now is a perfect time for us to hear from somebody. Molly Hatchet is not our sponsor, but how about we hear
Wouldn't
from
that be
people
great?
who are?
Actually, yeah, that sounds great. I'm sorry, I ruined that.
That's fine.
Let's go. RogueCon 23 is a creator convention that's coming to Waco, Texas. Zach, what would you think if I told you we signed a big YouTuber to come to town?
Ooh, I'd be excited about that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of thousands of
Wow.
followers kind of thing. Yeah.
Nice.
We got to put them up in a hotel and the whole thing.
Ooh,
It's a big deal.
It
Yeah.
is.
So we're going to do it for 3 days, January 20th, 21st, and 22nd here in Waco, 6 different locations. YouTubers, TikTokers, I guess that's what you call them, TikTokers, Instagramians.
I'm old.
I'm older.
I mean, no offense.
Yeah, but we're gonna have live podcast shows. Influencers.
There you go.
You and I are gonna do a show.
Yeah, live. You should come see us.
You should come see us. There's going to be live podcasts. There's going to be live music. There's going to be a guy holding snakes. There's going to be maybe some wrestling. There's going to be TikTokers, YouTubers, Instagramians. All kinds of fun for the whole family.
That sounds like a blast.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 2023. If you need, well, not if, go get your tickets at roguecon23.com.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and get into
Still in the
our
Christmas
main
spirit,
event.
right?
Still in the Christmas
All right,
spirit.
great.
And I saved the naughtiest of all for last.
Rudolph the Stripper.
No,
Oh.
I referenced it last week.
Oh, I know what this is.
We have the Lobo Paramilitary Christmas special.
Why paramilitary?
We will get into that.
Is this Liefeld also?
No, this is Keith Giffen, Alan Grant,
I know
and
Alan
Simon
Grant.
Bisley.
Okay.
Keith Giffen is the guy who created Lobo.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
All right. Don't hate on us if it didn't.
I know he wrote them during, the 91.
The trying
90s.
times.
This is during 1991, during the holiday
Okay.
time.
All right.
And it does say on the cover, seriously suggested for mature readers.
Okay. Sure.
So DC is at least doing it, but then it's a festive DC.
Yeah.
Green and red little color there.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I like how he's killing Santa on the front cover.
Well, he has blood. Santa's still alive, but it does not look good
He's
for
bleeding
Santa.
out.
So
All his Christmas spirits leaking out.
this is a very we'll just get it before we get into it. I guess. What do you know about Lobo?
I don't know a lot about Lobo. This was kind of past my comic book reading.
Yeah.
time.
So Lobo, if I remember right, debuted in '83. I think in like the Omega Men number 3.
I was primarily a Marvel person. Didn't do a lot of DC stuff. So that's probably why Lobo didn't really cross my radar.
But just to make it easy to describe the character in general, if you haven't seen him, he is a mercenary. He's a space mercenary. He lives on the planet where he is the last of his kind.
And he was in Whitesnake for a little bit.
The reason he is the last of his kind is because he essentially killed everybody else that was his kind.
Wow.
He is a guy who likes to just wreak havoc for fun in a way, that kind of character.
All right.
Only cares about himself.
Yeah. Was he an answer to Deadpool?
No, because Deadpool was created after him.
Really?
He was a very violent character, I think, for the time.
I think maybe it's
But he was in that anti-hero realm though.
You think they were like, we got Superman, we got Batman, we need somebody who's not so.
They actually, the reader, if I'm remembering right, I think Giffen said that he created Lobo as kind of a parody of Wolverine.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense.
So like just super
kinda
tough.
Wolverine-ish.
Yeah. He was like making fun of just kind of how like super tough.
Can he be hurt? Does he have like the super healing ability? Like,
not that I know of.
oh, okay. All right. He's just a badass. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like he's a very big guy, a very big physical presence. Obviously, as a mercenary, he's trained in all sorts of weaponry and stuff.
Ghostly white.
Yeah.
Red eyes.
Very red eyes. Has like Legion of Doom face paint.
Yeah.
To all my wrestling fans out there.
Legion of Doom, yeah.
Not to be confused with the Justice Friends League.
That's what I'm
Legion
saying.
of Doom.
Yeah.
That's true. We could have.
Yeah.
So, but
Does he have a
let's get
mustache?
into it's like a goatee kind
He's
of like
very
a
stubbly,
full
right? Yeah.
beard. Yeah. Crazy hair. He has a space motorcycle. And he has a dog
When you
that
say it that way, it doesn't sound cool.
I know.
Yeah.
And he has a dog that whenever the arm,
It's fine.
my bad.
You're good.
He has a dog that whenever it does something bad, he claims it's not his. So
Oh, okay.
that's,
That's a running joke.
So for this Christmas special, we're met with these two very ugly looking individuals that are a husband and wife.
Okay.
Um,
Like the Bickersons.
yeah. Essentially the husband has gotten laid off from work the week of Christmas.
Okay. That's a
So
bad
they
situation.
don't have any money to buy their kids. They're
Yeah.
10 kids. Anything for Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah, there's great lines in there like, I can't believe, hold on, where is this at? Oh, the reason he got fired was for rigging toilet breaks. What a moron.
What?
And he replies, a guy's got to dump, babe.
Jesus.
So Yeah, right
The
there.
guy's got a dump.
Babe. You gotta have that loving little.
Wait, what is rigging toilet breaks? I don't understand. Like he was taking too many of them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I guess, you know.
I just didn't know what those words meant. I understand all the words individually. I don't understand them together.
Like I can't believe I'm gonna, like you've heard, I can't remember where I had somebody tell me this once and it was the first time I heard it and I had never heard it before, but I died laughing when they told me, what was it? I make a nickel, or whoa, I make a nickel while you make a dime. That's why I crap on company time.
Jeez, that's wonderful.
And I remember like just being like,
Well, I told you
okay.
about my Griffey time, right? Like,
Yeah.
We used to have that Ken Griffey. So, yeah.
So that's just what this makes me think of. He's like, yeah, I'm just rigging
Okay.
breaks to go, you know,
Guys
waste
gotta
time,
dump,
probably.
babe.
Yeah. But the thing that
I
stinks
don't
about
ever want to
this,
talk to my wife that way.
yeah.
I think she would throw a couch at me or something.
But they're discussing like, I can't believe what the kid's reaction is going to be tomorrow. Then when they wake up with nothing there, right?
Oh, boy.
And
You can't say that to kids. Guys got to dump, kids.
yeah, no, he has to say it to his wife. But she goes, blame yourself. You were the one who wanted the big family. And he replies to his loving wife with, don't be ridic. I only wanted to get laid regularly. Ridiculous. You know, it was cool.
Yeah, no, I get it.
The two of them
Unfortunately, I get it.
decide that what they have to do since they saw what happened to their fellow neighbors last year.
Did these people change?
No, it's the same people.
Okay.
Yeah, you see what I mean with the art? It's just kind of
so weird.
So they talk about what happened last year with one of their neighbors when they didn't get anything for their kids and how their kids basically just tore them apart.
Oh my God.
Said, you could have put Joe in a matchbox.
Where do you
And
live?
the wife says, well, I don't want to be one. And he's like, all right, I'll get the picture. And he goes and he grabs his gun and they're going to kill the kids before they
Lord.
wake up and can attack and kill them because they didn't get them anything for Christmas.
What universe is this?
That's how the story's set up so far, right?
What number planet are they on?
Then there's a knock on the door and they go and they look and a book falls in front of them.
Yeah.
And they pick up the book and they're like, I mean, what else do we have to lose? Let's go ahead and open this book
Open
kind of
that
thing.
book, yeah.
And the book has like a main opening page when
Yeah.
you do it. And I'll go ahead and read this
Please
to you
do.
a little bit. It basically says like no money, no job, no prospects, no Christmas.
Yeah.
Each year, thousands of parents die in incidents of domestic violence that are perpetrated by their very own and
is not a
very
thing.
irate children.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. Ordinary kids who realizing they will enjoy no Christmas turn on their folks with a homicidal mania of unprecedented proportions. What can you do to prevent your death? Well, fortunately, the answer is simple. Merely read this book to your children. The Lobo Xmas Sanction, or 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly, rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat. Whoa, you say. What difference can one
They wrote-
poxy little book make? To which we say...
Coxie?
Poxy.
Oh, Poxy.
To which we say, read it to them and see.
Didn't make it better.
Backed by our cast iron guarantee. Your kids, if your kids still want a Christmas after reading this, we will pick up all burial expenses up to, but not exceeding 3,500 credits. What other publisher dares to put his money where his mouth is? Try it out. You've nothing to lose but your terror. A public service announcement brought to you by, and then it lists the people who worked on the book. So, Keith Giffen, who was our plot and breakdowns, Simon Bisley, who was art, who worked on, hold on.
So they dropped the comic people in the comic.
Never mind.
Oh.
I thought that.
I thought maybe they worked
Where did
on
we
Santa
talk
the
about
Barbarian.
Simon Bisley? I thought we talked about him before.
I don't know.
I talked on the front when I mentioned him.
Oh,
So it
okay.
just mentions him again, basically in here. And so it's very fourth wall breaky, like the
Yeah.
early 90s.
That's a lot of words, though.
Yeah. So a couple looks at each other and they're like, yeah, what do we got to lose? Let's go ahead and read this.
Guys got to dump.
And so we now have a story inside of a story. Our Lobo story is the book they're reading, essentially.
So smart.
Yep. So we're introduced to Lobo, who goes to a bar where apparently he's known there. And he says that he's there to meet a guy, and the bartender tells him in the back, it's the Easter Bunny.
Okay.
The Easter Bunny, who is very drunk,
He's a drunk.
is there to meet Lobo.
Okay.
And ask him, he's like, hey, me and the other, holiday peeps was talking. And,
like the Lucky Charms
think,
guy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I'm trying to think what he calls them all.
The guy from Flag Day.
Nah, it's their group, I think. But he's like, we need you to take out the big man. Like, we think he has a monopoly on all of, like, out of the whole thing. He gets a lot of love. And we think there'd be more wealth to spread if you took him out.
This is very, I don't know, it's causing like deja vu to me. I think I've heard this story before, but not in this comic. I think this story has been told before. Well, is there not like a Rankin Bass stop motion thing about all the other ones turning on Santa?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Maybe.
I don't know, man.
I'll look it up.
Seems very familiar.
Anyway, but so
talking to the Easter Bunny. Easter Bunny wants to get rid of the big man
of Santa. So they've all put the money together to pay Lobo. They've already paid him to kill Santa.
How many credits?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
It's just a lot. We know.
It's always credits.
So Lobo takes him up on it, and he heads out to the North Pole. And while he's there at the North Pole,
so he's taking the job. He's going to kill Santa.
He's going to kill Santa.
Great.
So while we're there, I'm trying to make sure. Here. Oh, yeah.
North Pole looks very fortified.
Far to the north, in the land of everlasting ice, lay the stronghold of Santa Claus.
Okay. All right.
A brutal dictator repeatedly slammed by Amnesty International. He ran his empire with an iron fist.
So stupid.
Planned malnutrition kept his army small in stature, but fighting fit and fierce as ferrets.
So he didn't feed them, and that's why they're elves?
Yes.
Okay.
And they fight for him. Those are his soldiers. Only highly sophisticated public relations techniques and a once-a-year charity splurge kept his image smooth with the public.
This makes me want for the 4th of July.
Right.
You know, I don't want Christmas
Jolly
anymore.
Santa Claus, the world called him, but his slaves knew him better as Chris Crusher Kringle.
Crusher Kringle. Great.
Right? So now we have Santa.
Santa's an ass.
He's this giant mob boss in a way.
Yeah.
Lobo sneaks into Santa's workshop. Like there's a lot. Here's what's weird. It's so like the alarm goes off. Once he's breached, they are all, I told you, yeah. I'm not necessarily.
Yeah, this art is gross.
Some people like it, and that's fine. It's just not my usual.
I understand. It's so much.
But one of the elves said that, hey, we need to start a union. And the other one says, sure. And we could also have Crusher cut off our lips.
Oh, God.
So, like, the elves are afraid of Santa.
Yeah,
let's just set what Santa is in this universe.
Right.
But Lobo still breaks in to the, I guess, North Pole hideout. Santa's home, his workshop there.
Sure.
All of the elves pull guns. They pop out of toys and they pull guns on Lobo.
Okay.
You see them there? The click, 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 click.
Yeah, they're ready to jack up Santa.
And so he's essentially, where's it at? Oh, the elf's home that he's surrounded. He goes, you're surrounded, naughtiest one. That's what they call him too. And every elf, a crack shot. Throw down your weapons and put your hands above your heads. Surrender now. And he goes, up yours, cream puff. The main man don't know the meaning of the word.
Okay.
Tell you what, though, come down here and I'll show you something else candy canes are good for.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There's the candy cane reference.
There you go. That's why I said it for you.
Yeah, thank you.
The elves think that's sacrilegious and tells them to fire it.
Sacrilegious?
And he tells them to fire at will when they all, I don't know why they would know they have court guns, you would think.
Yeah.
But they all shoot court guns at Lobo.
It just goes pop, 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 boing, boing, boing.
And he goes, ain't that just so cute? And then he honestly unloads his real gun.
That's a lot of guns.
Oh, he calls them fraggers. Again, we talked about how like there's a lot of like fake curse words without being really anything. But then there's so much gore.
My God.
See?
Just ripping through the elves, knocking their eyeballs out.
It's so just gory and grotesque, right?
But let's say butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think bastard and ass are the only two curse words that are said in here. So it's just weird though that there's a problem with
He is just
the words,
ripping them
but
apart, man.
yeah, and then the dog rips an arm off and eats one of the elves' heads.
Oh, sure.
Like it's just panel after panel of just
gore.
grotesque stuff. And then he just leaves a giant pile of empty elves behind him. So he then starts trying to find where Santa is, and he sees a door that says authorized personnel only. Thinks that's where he's got to be.
Sure.
Heads into there. And he's walking around this luxurious little house area.
The thing that always amazes me about this stuff is somebody had to approve this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what we want. You got it.
And Lobo's yelling out like, yo, Fats, ain't you heard? You can run, but you can't hide. And then we hear, who's hiding, hot shot? Santa calls him out.
Santa ain't doing it.
Yeah. And Lobo says, so you're the man, huh? Santa Sneckin' Claus. Again, fake person. AKA Father Xmas, Kris Kringle, Big Bloody Nick, the Crusher. And then we see a giant cigar with just smoke from it. And it says, done your homework, boy. And then he goes, but please call me Chris or Sir. This is my roommate, Kong. He can fetch you a drink.
Kong.
That's right. Santa lives with a giant gorilla.
Okay, sure.
His roommate, Kong, who can fetch Lobo drinks.
Yeah. Wow.
Lobo basically says, hey.
What do you think the drug was that they were? What do you think the drug of choice was at this time? Because this has to be influenced by something. Yeah, it's got to be Coke or something, right?
No. I think we're into like it's like acid and stuff back in the 90s, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like cocaine was like a business, like a late just like a late 80s
There's
thing.
something going on here though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really not trying to make a joke. I'm thinking there's got to be something going on here because this is way, like you can't even see the top anymore. This is way over it, right? I mean, like these bullets going through elves and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. No, and this is a DC book that costs $2.99.
Wow.
I'm sorry, $2.39.
It says suggested for mature readers.
It does at least. At least they knew. They tried to tell you it wasn't for kids.
Right. That's and kids avoid those like the plague too when you put that on.
Oh,
there.
yeah, for sure. But so while he's saying that basically, here's
I don't like his dog.
Yeah, I don't like necessarily the way it's drawn. Again, some people do. I'm not knocking the art style. It's just not my.
Sure.
Santa goes essentially the whole you're going to gun down an unarmed mythic symbol. Is that the only way you know how then? Then go ahead and shoot. And Lobo's like, he's kind of like upset by that. Like, no, I can beat you fairly. Yeah. He's like, don't make me laugh, man. Let's just put this on the fast track and it's possible. He's like, okay, so you're scared of me kind of. It sounds like an excuse.
Yeah.
And so he's like, what do you want? He's like, all right, so I can pick weapons. And he's like, yeah, just go ahead and pick what you want. Just quit your talking. Let's do this. So Santa goes and finds two giant, like, machete-like things that he wants to use.
Okay.
But while he's there, Lobo sees a thing called the Elfomatic Cloning Unit. You see that there?
Yeah.
So while he's digging through stuff, so Santa can apparently clone elves. Let's think about that, too.
What? Okay. Well, why would he? All right. I don't understand why he's treating them the way he does if he can just make more.
I don't know. But then, so Shivs, they have a fight, and they go back and forth. Mm-hmm. Santa loses an eye in part of it. You see it up there?
Yeah, I see that.
And then Santa swings and tells him to, and I will use the one curse word that's in here that I told you about.
Okay.
He punches Lobo and tells him to die, you naughty bastard.
Okay.
And Lobo responds,
with
you
his
wish,
eyeball
sucker.
Out. Yeah.
And then Santa Claus says, look, maybe we can make a deal. He kind of knows that he's beaten. Yeah. And Lobo says, sounds cool, but the bunny already paid for you. And he goes, and the main man always delivers. And then he decapitates Santa.
Wow.
Penguins at the bottom say, free of the tyrant at last. The 3 cheers for the main man.
What about the gorilla?
Right? Oh, the gorilla's going to help him later.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, season's greetings, Fats, as he stands over a decapitated Santa body. Then he goes looking around this is the one thing I told you things were going to be said about Santa.
Mm-hmm.
So as he's standing over Santa's head and body, he says, jerk, the idiot might have stood a chance against anyone else, but they don't call me Mr. Machete for nothing.
Who calls him that?
I don't know. People.
Okay.
And then he says, can't blame the old goat for trying, though. This is some sweet deal he's laid down here. You only got to work one day a year and all the elves you can handle if you're into little guys with pointed ears, that is.
Okay.
And then it shows Santa's closet, Mike.
Oh, man. Come on. It's going to be a bunch of sex stuff, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
I'll just let you describe what's in there.
So, oh, yeah. Look at that. We've got a blow-up doll. We've got some bondage stuff. We got some kinky boots.
Ha!
Yeah.
Nice. Not in reference to the
movie.
play.
Yeah. Kinky boots.
Or the show.
It's a good show. Something that's remote controlled that looks like it would be shoved up your butt.
Yeah. So they
a lot of
portray.
stuff. Sure.
They're trying to
Santa's
make
a creep.
Santa look like a sexual deviant.
Yeah.
So there you go. We also have that
they did it.
in Lobo. Lobo then starts looking around the rest of Santa's workshop, and he comes across the naughty and nice list. And he's like, oh, I could use this. All the nice people.
What's he going to do with it?
He's like, all the nice people, victims in the making. And all the naughty people, well, they could be definite trouble. That's a potential source of competition.
So just kill them all.
Yep. That's what he's thinking.
Kill them
and
all,
then
let
he
Santa
finds,
sort 'em out.
he takes all of Santa's weapons cache that he has at the North Pole.
There's like bombs, like
tons of
not
bombs.
even missiles. It's bombs.
It's warheads and
Yeah,
stuff.
like warheads.
Yeah. Kong is tightening the warheads into the bombs and stuff for him. And they load it all up, and they decide that they're going to deliver these as gifts to people.
Come on. They got to shoot these down chimneys.
Yeah, and he goes down, and Lobo's ready to go off, and he says, Rudolph, lead my sleigh tonight, or I'll blow you away. And Rudolph says, no, never. You're naughty, much too naughty. And then you hear, blam, thud, your choice, guy.
So he killed Rudolph.
Yep.
Ah, great.
And then the rest of the reindeer decide to take off with him.
They've gotten over their diarrhea.
Yep.
Okay. That was another story, right?
Oh, that was in the Santa the Barbarian. Yeah, no, these don't. No, but Rudolph's dead.
Okay.
Santa's dead. Rudolph's dead. All the elves are dead.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to Lobo.
Sure.
And so they go off, and then Kong has a blast, just throwing warheads down. It says, oh, it came to pass that on midnight clear, a new star rose in the east. And the naughty learn just what happens to those who threaten the main man's peace of mind. And the nice, well, let's just say that they learned young what it means to be innocent victims.
Nobody did anything.
What it means to be innocent victims, Mike.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And then Lobo says,
then we go back to
let
gotta
them
dump,
rip,
babe.
Kong. Give those suckers the old seasonal boom. And yeah, we get back to the weird couple where it's like, this is incredible. It's a masterpiece. This could work. Oh, we're saved. We're saved. We're saved. And then the wife or the husband says, come on, let's read the last page. Maybe it gets even better. And they're like,
so this has all been in the book?
This has all been in the book.
Okay.
And we're back to the couple, and they're like, right, let's see now. And so we flip to the next page where the book says, this book, good for only one read. Gotcha, sucker. And then poof, it disappears. And the wife starts crying and sobbing, and the husband says, don't fret, honey. I'll say goodnight to the kids for you. And then we have a panel where they're singing Silent Night,
So he's going to kill the kids
Holy
still.
Night, and you hear blam, blam,
Holy crap.
blam. And then Lobo says, Merry Xmas, compadres. Ho, ho, fraggin' ho.
And he's flipping you off.
flipping off. And that's how the Lobo Christmas special ends.
That is just so much.
Right?
So much that doesn't seem needed.
No. No, it is. When I said naughty, I tried to bring out. And do you like how I layered it for you too? Like it was kind of funny and fun.
Yeah, sure.
You're like, this is ridiculous. And then it's like, what
got
in the
gross.
hell is this?
Wow. I have never read a comic book that ends with parents killing their kids. Huh. Ain't that fun? Boy, oh
I
boy.
mean, I'm not. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound overtly like I'm fine with you telling the stories you want to.
Sure. Right.
I'm not necessarily bothered by it in a
Dog is
way
flipping you off at the end.
that it's just not good storytelling.
No, it's just not good. It just it's
That's it.
It's grotesque to be grotesque.
Yeah.
So what this reminds me of is those horror movies that go way over the top, you know, with all the blood and gore.
Yeah. It's kind of in a way where there's not substance, so they get you
Right.
with
Right. So that's what I was going to say. Like those horror movies, they're not scary.
no.
You know, they're just gross.
Yeah.
Is all they are. And,
And
that's
so
not
that
a
was
horror
just
movie.
and just looking at the way it was. I think it was just.
Are all the Lobo things like that?
I haven't read a lot of Lobo,
Okay, all right.
but I think around that time, yeah.
It just doesn't appeal to me.
No, doesn't me either.
But they're gonna put him in the DC.
They're gonna tame him down a lot, probably.
Oh, I would imagine. But see, they've got to now because they're like, oh, we got to get in the Deadpool race. You know.
Yeah.
But now it's James Gunn. Maybe not.
I
Maybe
don't know.
not. He might could do something with Lobo.
I haven't read any of the newer Lobo. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what the character's like now. They might have, because I do feel like they focus more on newer versions of them.
Sure. Yeah.
Obviously, because it makes it easier and you run into less problems that way with like
Right.
trouble with the
Continuity
character. Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, continuity, and then also I feel like maybe questionable things. And
Well,
that,
yeah,
you know,
some of the older stories,
Yeah.
like having sex with your mother and then being born,
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
I don't think we're gonna see Brie Larson do that.
I doubt that very seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was wonderful. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
There
Merry
you go.
Christmas to you.
How did you really enjoy it, or is this like the
I-
Christmas sweater that you're gonna take back? when
Well,
I
the
leave?
Lobo thing's just gross, right? I don't.
Yeah,
like that.
no,
I didn't
I
like
don't-
that at all.
I didn't enjoy it while I read it, but it is.
But I didn't think I would say this, but Barbarian's better than that.
You think so?
Stand of the Barbarian's better than that Lobo thing. Yeah.
My favorite out of all of them is the first one.
Oh yeah, the first one's just like a funny little joke now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because you
See?
ruined me on the last one there.
So this is our last episode then, as Christmas will happen on a Sunday before we come back on Mondays then.
Ho ho ho.
So there's no need for us to do anything Christmas related,
Sure.
but I want it to start, as I talked about, like looking at some early origins and stuff like
Yeah.
that in January.
Yeah, that's cool. We need a palate
So,
cleanser
I needed
for the new year.
Yeah. And so that's what we're going to get to. And so I needed to find something for the last episode of 2022.
Mm.
And I wanted to make sure something that it was you enjoyed.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you enjoyed it the last time we did it. So I'm going to come back with a part 2 of some romance comics,
Oh,
Mike.
fan-fraggin-tastic or whatever he said.
I already have some printed off
Yes, I love
that I'm
those.
going through.
I love them.
I might even get some more, and I'm just going to get a collection of some. We'll go through it. And so I thought no better way
You're such a
than to
wonderful
close
man.
out 2022 with a giant just laugh, smile, palate cleanser of
Yeah,
us
man.
making fun of ridiculous romance comics from the 50s,
That's
60s, and
fantastic.
70s.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Thank you very much.
That's
the
what we
best
can
Christmas
do.
present you
there
could
you
give
go.
me. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, cool.
So as
Well, anyway, I know you're about to wrap it up, but that was fun.
well, thank
No
you.
matter what. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Obviously, the joy of this podcast is just us talking, and the comics I feel are kind of in the background. But I feel like sometimes we can at least introduce you to certain things about a character, and just know that if you're like, Lobo, what can I expect? Well, around the 90s, just other stuff like that.
grody stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to ask you one question, and we don't have to answer this tonight or
Okay.
today or this episode or wherever the hell you're listening to this. What do you, and maybe this is something we come to after the new year.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think of the AI stuff? Like them using AI to write these stories and create the art and all that. I don't want you to answer now. Let's
Okay.
answer later.
Okay.
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 Yeah. I just want that to be a focus of one of them that we do.
Yeah.
Because I've got certain feelings about it, and I know you do as well. I can see it in you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to talk about that.
Yeah. No, that
And how
could be
it's
something.
everywhere all of a sudden.
Yes.
My God.
Like, I felt like I saw it a couple months ago, and it was just funny to see, like, you know.
I feel like somebody's going, hey, try out this new Skynet. It'll be great. You know, that kind of thing. It feels that way.
Right.
Yeah.
I've always been. See, the thing is, though, It's when I'm like, I've always been leery of AI.
Yeah.
I say that, and then I feel like that makes me kind of sound like I'm like a,
No,
but
I think you would have to go a little deeper to
yeah,
be
it's not
it's
not necessarily that as much as I think that I don't know, like I just think it can lead to worse stuff eventually.
Sure.
I don't know.
All right, we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get into the whole AI discussion. That'd be interesting.
Well, the reason I ask, and I'm sorry, I know this is continuing.
No, keep going.
The reason I ask is I've got another show that I do about King of the Hill, and we do these extra episodes on Fridays, and we have challenged our listeners to use AI to write a King of the Hill story. No sex stuff.
Yeah.
But the best one will win a T-shirt.
That's really cool.
And so, yeah, I think it's kind of cool, right? We get some entries and see what happens.
No, I like it. See, like, and like stuff like that.
That
like,
kind of
it's
stuff's fun.
It's fun for stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's how these things start, right?
Oh yeah.
That heroin was great that first time. Yeah, let's try it again. See what happens.
You don't watch Rick and Morty. Never mind.
I do. I just haven't watched it in a long time. Yeah.
Do you like it or?
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, I think it's funny.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not Lobo funny, but it still is funny. Yeah.
That would take a lot to be. I mean,
that's right.
I'm not, and see, I always feel bad. Just like it's just not my cup of tea. Like I'm not dissing.
Really
if you're a Lobo fan out there, I don't want it to sound like because I know people who are. But
I will. I
think
you're ridiculous if you like Lobo.
And that story is just not.
If that's
good.
What it is all the time, then you got issues.
Maybe I need to do a little more into Lobo.
You're that side of Reddit that I don't go to.
Oh,
is what that
that's
is.
the side of Reddit I usually stay in.
Oh, well, that says a lot out there.
Huh. All right, I'm gonna go make an appointment with my therapist and
your AI therapist.
My AI therapist, who I'm just going to,
I feel bad. You should kill people.
Oh man. All right. Well,
all right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, thanks for listening as always. You can find us on Instagram, BroFoHero, on Twitter, Bros, Foes, and Heroes, and email us, brosfoesandheroes@gmail.com. Also, we are part of the fantastic network, RogueMediaNetwork.com, a great slew of podcasts there.
Got a bunch.
To go and check out. And I forgot where my mic was there for a minute. My bad.
Okay. Yeah.
But tons of great stuff there, as Mike was talking about.
Their
King of the Hill Rewatch podcast. Tons of other great stuff on there as well. As always, we appreciate you taking the time out to listen. And until next time, stay safe, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays. Whatever you celebrate, have a good one.
Jolly good.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about. This has been a Rogue Media podcast.